In February 2014, the luxurious Fairmont Hotel on the banks of the Nile, Egypt, in a closed room 20 levels above the ground. Young, wealthy Egyptians, whom are sons of influential people, abused a girl in mass raping. They then engraved their letters on their names on her body, to turn into a crime which was exposed only after 6 years. The case shook the public opinion amongst Egypt and the Arabs, resulting in one of the most horrific gang rape crimes known to mankind. The ugliest crime of all could be what happened nearly 70 years ago before the Fairmont crime. The crime was done on 2 million women together, and it was not done with loud music, but it was done by bullets, where there was nowhere left on the body to engrave their letters on. By the end of World War II, and between January and August 1945, Germany experienced the largest mass rape in history. Women were raped everywhere, in the streets, in churches, and in squares. From 10-year-old girls to women over 80, mothers were raped in front of their children, where field execution is a punishment to women who refuse. And for those who give in, they are to be killed by rape by the Soviet army soldiers whom have advanced in the territory of Germany, where it was empty of its men whom have joined ranks in Hitler's Nazi army. Females were present in large numbers in German cities, and they've become an easy prey for Soviet soldiers. Revenge by rape. In East Prussia region, where the Soviet army intervention began, German women have woken up to a terrifying nightmare. Soldiers arrived at homes, streets, allies, and even churches, and they began to rape any woman they see as a form of revenge. This act has earned the Soviet army a bad reputation, which had led many German women to commit suicide as soon as they heard the news of the Red Army approaching. However, it did not stop the Soviet from raping no less than 2 million German women. Some of them were raped repeatedly, sometimes up to 70 times, which had led Berlin alone to witness more than 100,000 rape assaults between April and May 1945, while the regions of East Prussia, Pomerania, and Silesia were marked to be a scene of more than 100.4 million rape assaults. The ages of rape victims were ranged between 10 and 80 years old. Around 200,000 German women have died, where the repeated rape assaults have caused them to die from many diseases and infections. Daily abortion. The Second World War was not yet over, yet hundreds of thousands of German women started to run to hospitals for abortions, which were continuously done on a daily basis. Until August 1945, rape assaults were gradually reduced, where it was rumored that the Soviet military leadership had taken strict measures against soldiers whom were accused of rape. Russian historian Anthony Beaver showed files to the Soviet secret police, which revealed that the leadership was giving a blind eye to the committed mass rapes. Including the rape assaults of German women whom were freed from labor camps, rape crimes did not completely end until January 1948, after the Soviets returned to their camps and left residential areas. And some are still in search of their soldier fathers from the Allied armies. The Rape Allies. Rape assaults were not only done by the Soviet troops alone, but all armies and Allied forces took part in the rape crimes. General Eisenhower, whom was recognized as the commander-in-chief of the Allied forces in Europe and North America, had confessed that when the French and American forces entered the German city of Stuttgart, they drove women into the subway tunnels where they were raped several times and then executed. Historians have also documented about 190,000 rape crimes carried out by the US soldiers. British, French, and Belgian soldiers were no better than their allies when they raped elderly women and children in prisons. a number of 45,000 sexual assaults by British soldiers were documented, and 50,000 were carried out by French soldiers. Nor did the women of France escape the rape of their allies, as the groundwork of the Normandy invasion and Operation Dragon in 1944 had set more than 2 million Western Allied troops in France, where newspapers had described especially Americans being arrogant. They spent their time eating and raping. Meanwhile, women in Normandy began to complain about rape crimes by the hands of American soldiers who raped hundreds of girls. And in the Match province, the Americans carried out 208 rapes and 30 murders, until the French chanted a famous phrase: "With the Germans, the men had to camouflage themselves, but with the Americans, we had to hide the women." What about you? Do you have a message to send to every rapist in the past or present, whether in war or peace?